The 14-Day Carnivore Challenge, Day 8, Cheat Meals versus Refeeds. I'm the author, Jason Atkinson. To cheat or not to cheat? That is the question. While there is no structured cheat day on the 14-Day Carnivore Challenge, I've always been a fan of it. I'd like to encourage you to stick around after this 2-week jumpstart as we transition into a more sustainable lifestyle program that allows for structured refeeds on the weekends. When it comes to long-term adherence to nutritional and exercise principles, I use the 80-20 rule. This rule states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts and vice versa. The other 80% of your activities only account for 20% of your results. What are the critical few that you must do every single day to succeed in improving your health? Here's what I've learned along the way to losing 75 pounds and maintaining a new healthy weight for several years. Number 1, exercise every day for 30 to 60 minutes minimum. Ideally, this should be strength training followed by some cardiovascular activity. If you want to break them up into separate sessions, perform cardio in the morning on an empty stomach to prioritize fat burning while in a semi-fasted state. Do your strength training later in the day after you've eaten something. Number 2, drink at least a half ounce of water per pound of body weight daily. Number 3, aim for 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. Make it the focus of every meal and every snack. Number 4, set goals, write them down, and track them relentlessly. Number 5, take a day off, or at least have one rest day or cheat meal every week. This is what will keep you in the game for the long run. I know going back to your problem foods is the last thing you want to do, but eventually you'll learn how to fit them in without causing any damage. In fact, in the right context, a higher calorie or a junk food meal is actually beneficial because it helps you psychologically stay in control of when and where it happens. You didn't fail if you indulged because it's part of the program. The all or nothing mindset is a recipe for disaster because no one can eat perfectly all the time forever. So accept that when you do diverge, it's not a reason to give up. Just start over again for another week. The body adapts very quickly to a lower daily average amount of energy calorie intake, and occasionally ramping up that amount helps keep the body in fat burning, muscle building, or muscle preservation mode. A carb refeed is a nutritional strategy that allows you to eat more carbohydrates without storing them as fat. In fact, if you time it properly, they can actually improve metabolism, allowing you to build more muscle and burn more body fat. This works best, by the way, on a keto, carnivore, or ketovore diet. See day 7 for details on that. Basically, you limit your carb intake during the week and only consume a significant amount of carbohydrates on the weekends, ideally in the evening and or after a training session. At this time, you will have depleted muscle glycogen stores through your training efforts and improved your insulin sensitivity significantly. This causes incoming carbohydrates to be stored in the muscle tissue as glycogen rather than being stored as fat. If you're skeptical about this method, try it for yourself. Start each day with mainly animal source protein along with some fat and very little carbohydrates like eggs or whey protein or a little cream in your coffee, for example. This will keep insulin low and allow you to burn body fat as energy more readily. Continue this pattern for 5 days until the end of the week, when you'll have a clean portion of carbohydrates such as potatoes or rice. If you can time this to immediately follow a workout, that's even better, but it also works if you train in the morning. As you progress, you can increase the amount and types of carbohydrates without experiencing any negative effects. The key is keeping your carbohydrate intake very low at all other times. I've used this method to break a weight loss plateau and take my body to a new level of leanness. The effectiveness of this method is mainly due to the fact that increasing carbohydrates strategically improves leptin levels, which prompt the body to release fat stores. Indulging in a higher calorie meal also gives you a break from the routine and allows you to indulge in some of your favorite foods, which may not fit the animal-based, low-carb, or ancestrally appropriate template without causing any harm. It's not realistic or sustainable long-term thinking that you will never diverge from your way of eating. Having an opportunity to take a break without losing ground makes the method I'm suggesting more of a lifestyle and less of a diet. I want to help people like you learn to follow a way of eating and exercising that you can continue for 5, 10, or even 20 years or more from now. In contrast, most people think of a diet as a temporary restriction they only have to do for a brief time until they reach their goal. This is not practical for most. My hope is that you learn new habits that you can maintain for a lifetime.